the second most carbon emitter in the world. With the last 7 years, we have made many investments in clean energy and amazing reduction in our carbon emissions. We have increased wind power by 3 times and solar power by 20 times. We have financially made the other ones cheaper than the dirtier conventional power.
We have put money into energy efficiency in every way possible and said no to infrastructure that would pull high carbon fossil fuels from the earth. We have limited the amount of carbon pollution our power plants can release into the sky. We have drove our economic output to an all-time high and our carbon pollution to its lowest in almost 20 years. We have found that strong economical growth and safer environments no longer have to inflict with one another. The thought that we can't do anything about climate change is unthoughtful. Our progress should give us hope. Earlier this year, Dubai minimized emissions known as HFC. Now that's progress. More than 180 countries of global pollution have made their own climate targets. This is also progress in the US. We are on track to reach the emissions goals Obama set 6 years ago. We will reduce our carbon emissions in the range of 17% below the 2005 levels by 2020. And that's why last year Obama set a new target. We will reduce our emissions by 26 to 28% below the 2005 levels within 10 years.
The growing threat of climate change could define the contours of this century more dramatically than any other. 14 of the 15 warmest years on record have occurred since the year 2000. And 2015 is on pace to be the warmest year of all. This summer, I saw the effects of climate change firsthand in our northernmost state, Alaska, where the sea is already swallowing villages and eroding shorelines, where permafrost thaws and the tundra burns, where glaciers are melting at a pace unprecedented in modern times. And it was a preview of one possible future. A glimpse of our children's fate if the climate keeps changing faster than our efforts to address it. Submerged countries, abandoned cities, fields that no longer... We are the first generation to feel the impact of climate change and the last generation that can do something about it.
If emissions continue to rise unchecked, the climate disasters will be so severe they will destabilize entire nations, send millions of refugees across borders, cause widespread extinction of most species on Earth, and melt the polar ice caps, leaving most of the world's coastal cities several feet underwater. All this could take centuries, but something like the sudden collapse of agriculture would trigger immediate chaos. Get our act together and begin to rapidly bring emission levels down. Meanwhile, Earth turns out to be less sensitive to greenhouse gases than we currently believe, plants and animals adapt quickly, and major technological breakthroughs help society limit emissions and adjust to climate change. But these are all the opposite of what we're actually seeing, so the only thing in our control is to limit emissions using all available tools and best behaviors currently at our disposal. As our capitalist utopia breaks down, billions starve as our world gets violent and messy real quick, kind of like a zombie apocalypse, but with extreme hunger spreading chaos instead, so yeah, still just like a zombie apocalypse. This would be coupled with the melting of the Antarctic ice sheet, leading to rapidly rising seas that would force us to abandon many of our greatest cities and all of the social and scientific progress that we were making within them. Adding insult to injury is the fact that many of the emissions were emitted while building these now abandoned underwater metropolis. Every time the amount of carbon dioxide in the air rises, the Earth warms up, ice melts, and the ocean rises. What's important to remember here is that we are in uncharted territory. Humans are pumping carbon dioxide into the air far faster than nature ever has.
You've probably been hearing a lot about climate change and how you should reduce your carbon footprint. But what is that exactly? It's a mark you leave upon the environment. These carbons. Those are the harmful gases, such as CO2, which are pumped out by burning fossil fuels like oil or gas.